Hey guys, just a quick one for you today. So I get a lot of people who come in and tell me that their hamstrings are tight, especially when they're playing sport, doing running, stuff like that. So something to look at is not necessarily just, prescribing lots of stretching for hamstrings. So what you might find is it actually has something to do with your pelvic positioning. So when you're anterior through your pelvis, that actually causes a stretch through the hamstring because your hamstring attaches on to your sit bone up there, right? So when we come into that anterior position, it's going to stretch that hamstring out. So I myself got an anterior tilt, and you can still see that I'm able to touch my toes, get to the ground. So there's actually not a range of motion sort of problem, but still might find that I am getting tight hamstrings, which I have in the past, because of that positioning and then that position then putting that hamstring on stretch. So sometimes we need to actually look at resetting that pelvis, working on being able to get into better positions to then allow us to take that pressure off the hamstring, right? So that's also going to have other effects. So if we sort of go into an anterior tilt and then we look at things like hip flexion, so you get jammed up, right? So when you go into that anterior tilt, it's going to close up that joint space and it's not going to allow for much hip flexion, right? So then what we can do from there is if I sort of posteriorly tilt, okay, and then I try and do my hip flexion, you can see that improvement. So from there and then anteriorly tilt, I get jammed up, all right? So as I said, sometimes tight hamstrings don't always need to prescribe lots of stretching. We do need to look at other factors that might be contributing to why you're feeling tight when you are playing sport or running, all right? Cheers.